All right. Let's see how it's going, guys. Get this thing started up, baby. Let's go, let's go. All right. Looks like we're live. Good afternoon. Make sure we got the audio. Just wanted to give you guys a soft opening here. We'll be starting in just a couple of minutes. Give me 2 minutes, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll be starting here in just a few minutes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. While you're waiting, vote on the poll. Hit that like and subscribe. Just throwing the rest of this together right now. Boy, do we have a show for you tonight. Already 11 of you waiting. Goodness, I see the love coming through. I see the love. I'm sending it right back, baby. Right back to you. Yes, sirree. 1 minute. 1 minute and we're going to start, guys. What's going on? Muley, good to see you in the chat. Dan, Bob, Dan. Covey, what up, gang? Gang, gang. Good to see you, brother. Jimmy's already in here. Let's go, Jimmy. Yeah, baby. All right. We've got about 30 more seconds. Let me get a big old tall sip here. All right. Are you ready? We got an awesome show for you guys today. Let's get this baby started. Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time you are watching this. I think I just got a bad habit of saying good morning. But anyway, tipping my hat to you. Anybody that's watching this at a different time zone, if it is bright and early, get a sip of that coffee in. If it's the afternoon, let's slam a drink and let's get this party started. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, whoever the hell you are, listen, I am pumped for today. We got a stock watch list. We got an economic calendar. We got all of the economic data to go over. And then we're going to start with our ETF watch list because you guys know very, very well that I am pumped about small and mid caps. Why am I pumped about small and mid caps? Well, when you got small and mid caps and those babies are running, that is when we make the most of our money. So while we are here, make sure you vote on the poll because that is the question of the day. Is the IWM or small and mid caps, are they on a new trend? Are they on a new trend? Are they going to continue higher and continue going up higher, or will it fall back and head lower? Because we've had a lot of fake outs in the IWM. We want to see that trend head higher because if we stay in a stagnant sideways action, then we are never going to have continuation in this bull run. It's going to be boring for the rest of 2024 if we stay trending sideways. I told you guys many times before, I want you to have that hope because it pays to be positive. I want to absolutely see this bull run continue. Covey says, damn Dave, looking fresh with it. I got a haircut. I did this just for you guys. If not, I would be unkempt and looking ugly. But it's A-okay. Things are looking good. Got them ears trimmed or ears lowered, as they say. So let's run through it. Guys, let's start with the S&P 500, shall we? Let's see what we got in here. B. Stewie, what's going on, B. Stewie? Good to see you. Mo Wealth is in the building. I'm glad you could make it, Mo Wealth. All right, guys, we're gonna run through it. I'm gonna make this process. I'm gonna condense it because I really want to focus more on the watch list. And of course, we have earnings coming up. That's gonna be a big, very, very big, important one because what comes with earnings? A lot of volatility. One, okay, you'll see a lot of movement in the markets, and two, the episodic pivots. One of our very specific trading strategies that we use is the episodic pivot, but we don't use it very often, okay? The main reason why is because earnings season isn't always going on. And usually with the episodic pivots, you are moving higher on earnings and it takes Wall Street by surprise. That's the very first thing about an episodic pivot is you want it to take Wall Street by surprise. Why? Because Wall Street has the money. And if Wall Street gets taken by surprise, then they're the ones scrambling to buy in. So that way when their investors come and say, why didn't you buy SMCI? Why the hell why is my portfolio not full of this semiconductor? It's going higher. They're doing really well. How did you miss this? Instead, they can say, yeah, you got plenty of it. And then they're buying. Now, it's funny that I bring up SMCI because we're going to use that actually as an example, not for the earnings, but just for on my watch list. But let's jump right into it, guys. The S&P 500 on this beautiful, beautiful TradingView chart is looking magnificent, still above a rising 10 and 21 day moving average. Why is this so great? Well, because as long as we stay above this 10 and 21 day moving average, you will know that, Dan Bob, you will see that I'm always going to be risk on as long as we're above a 21 day moving average. Well, this past year, when have I been risk off? Right here and right here for about a half a day right here. We were risk off for about a week or two right here, okay? Then we get a nice bounce and we were risk on since the bounce off this $500 area, and we were risk off that night, risk back on in the morning. And you can see there's a big reason why I use this. We can go all the way back from the start of this bull run, and as long as we're above a 21 day moving average, I am risk on and making that money, okay? Along with everybody in the Discord. This is how we do it. It's that simple. S&P 500 is running. It's still looking good. We're still above a rising 10 and 21 day moving average. And always remember, my saying is it pays to be positive. There's plenty out there to stay negative. Plenty out there, especially with the bullshit that happened in the news and all the crap that goes back and forth with the politics and the energy and the wars. And I mean, there's so many things that we can be negative about, but it's better to stay positive. It always pays to stay positive. So stay positive out there, guys, because you're better off staying positive in bull markets. And right now we're in a beautiful continuation in this bull run. Next up is the QQQs. What is that? Tech heavy. It is heavy in the tech, heavy in the trunk, makes the car pop a wheelie. And the QQQs, as you can see here, keeps on running, bouncing off this 10 day moving average. This is a beautiful sign. As the Mag 7, a lot of it is made up of the QQQs, and it's looking very, very nice. Very similar to the S&P 500, just holding up and actually starting this bull run. The tech always usually likes to lead. So the next biggest thing that I want to talk about, guys, look at this beautiful thing. We've talked about this many, many times, and I got to be honest with you. I hate to toot my own horn, but I gotta say it, right? I gotta say it. I've told you time and time again, since last Sunday, look at this beautiful trend. It's getting tight. We're going to have a decision that gets made in the market, and sure as shit, we got that. I said we're either gonna head up or we're going to head down, but this sideways action is done. By Friday, we will have our answer. And we got our answer on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. We got a little peeky gander above the top of this, and then the next morning, after the Mag 7 shit its britches, the speculative stocks, the IWM, the Russell 2000, started to rip, tater chip. You better believe your ass it did. And then just when I open my big chin and I say, well, we're right here in a resistance, what's going to happen? We're going to pull back. There's definitely resistance here. We're going to pull back. The IWM does something even more beautiful. It gaps up once again and surprises me. What a beautiful, beautiful move. So we got exactly what I was expecting here, a nice gap up on volume. Then it takes the market by surprise by gapping up even higher, okay? And I promise you this is why we don't short, because it pays to be positive, Okay, guys, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with shorting. There's nothing wrong with it. If you have a strategy backed up by risk management, you can do whatever the hell you want. But me, I like to stay long because it pays to be positive. And here we are in the IWM, the Russell 2000, gapping up. So the question I asked that already has 17 votes on, thank you for voting, is the IWM small and mid cap stock, this one here, on a new trend? So far, 71% of you say yes, we are in a new trend and it will continue. It looks like 6% say no, it will fall back and head lower. I would love to know why you think that, because I am very bullish on this. I do think it is going to continue higher. Now, just to see that side, you can see how many fake outs we have had. 1, 2, 3 fake outs. Then it breaks out above. Just when we think we're going to break out of this consolidation, it pulls back again, but creates new higher lows. 3 new higher lows tells me we have the push, the contraction, the tightness, and we're going to move again. Now that we have moved again, are we going to continue higher and start to get back up here towards these all-time highs all the way back from 2021? Will we? I would love to see it, to be quite honest with you, of course. And it pays to be positive. So if it does want to continue heading higher, we will be here to cover that, of course. But is this a fake out? 6% of you say it will fall back, it will head lower, and we will see very, very soon. So the IWM is looking very healthy at this point, reaching out and getting up above 2 years of consolidation here. This is where we make our money. In the small and mid cap stocks, these are the fastest movers, with the ADR percentages being well above 4% on most of these. And a lot of room to run. This is where you can make or break your account if you don't use risk management. So make sure, if you don't have a proven strategy, you go through our swing trading school in our YouTube and make sure you understand trend and base breakouts. And of course, because it's earnings season, the episodic pivot. All right, guys. That is the S&P 500, the QQQs, and the IWM. If anybody has any questions, let me know. We'll check out the chat right now. Let's see what we got. Robert Tanish is in the building. What's going on, Bob? It's good to see you, brother. Let's see. Yeah, Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator alive, has posted our link tree in the chat right there. If you guys want to go ahead and click on that link tree. Let's get rid of my sound. Here we go. If you want to just take a look at my screen, guys, let me just show you what is going on here. We got the link tree right here. If you click on that link tree, bada bing, bada boom, it brings up this link tree. We got our YouTube, our Discord, which is absolutely free, by the way, our Trading View. You can click that link if you want to use the same indicators, the same charting platform that I have. Click on this Trading View, use our link, and you will get a month for free. You can use it for free, but you'll get another month for free if you want to upgrade your plan. We also have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. You better believe it, we're on all platforms because we do it big, baby. And while you're here, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Oh, what's this? What's this over here? Yeah, we're doing it big, baby. Things are looking great, and I appreciate everybody being here. So thank you guys so much for being here. All right, so let's see what we got up next. Oh, look who joined us. Jolene. What's going on, Jolene? It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Predator's in the building. What's going on, Predator? He says, I love shorting when someone else is doing it. Yeah, it's actually really nice when a lot of people do it and you go long and we break out an area like this. Well, the shorts have to cover, right? That's probably a big reason why we had another gap up, because the shorts had to cover after we ran into this resistance. All right, let's see what's next on the list. We cover the ETF. There's one last thing I want to go over, is the VIX Volatility Index, and we just want to make sure that we are at an all-time low. One thing I do want to bring up, now this doesn't work so much as it does with other things, but I do want to point out that if we look, there is a lot of contraction happening here in the VIX, which means we could get some expansion here. We might be due for some panic, so just keep that in mind. We could just trade sideways, might get a little blurb here and there for panic. So we might be in due time for a little bit of panic. Okay, just something I'm keeping an eye on. It's definitely something that I want to be aware of. Now, one thing I definitely want to go over are my trades. And the reason why we go over my trades is because we can get a better understanding of how I trade and how I teach you to trade. So that way you have a better understanding of my risk management, You have a better understanding of training your eye to see these key stocks. And so that way, when we do go over these watch lists, you have a better understanding of why it's on my watch list and you don't just buy blindly, okay? Because remember, these are my ideas, they are not yours. These are not buy or sell recommendations in any way, shape, or form. And with that, let's continue. AMSC. Now, you guys can see very clearly why I bought AMSC. You see, there's a huge run up here after the earnings. Huge run up here, a pullback, and then it starts to follow this 10-day moving average. Another volume blurb comes in right here, pushing the stock up even higher. Finally, without any fear of missing out, we wait for the stock to pull back. And as it pulls back, it starts to consolidate sideways, holding a rising 10 and 21-day moving average. Not getting nearly as tight as we like to see, but I won't argue with price action. A new higher low was formed, and the next day, a small gap up. On volume, we decided to take this on the 5-minute time frame, seeing that volume, and sure enough, we are moving to the north side. So this stock, let me take a little look here. Let's see if you can see it right here. You can see I'm up. I still hold 150 shares. I ended up getting some of this out at 27.90 and some of this out at 27.64. That was half of the position that I got out. So on the last half of this position, we're still up $652. So far, so good. I would love to see continuation, obviously. It's more of a mid-cap stock than it is a small-cap stock, so we'll see just how well it does. But, you know, I got to say it.
Another one.
Another one, baby. That is another beautiful call out in the Discord on the watch list, and that's exactly why we do it. It's exactly why we bring it up to you, so that way everybody has a better understanding of what's going on. Let me take a sip and we'll continue looking at the trades that I am in. Now, I know a lot of you took this trade, and I'm very proud of a lot of you because you didn't just get in because I said I was getting in. I called it out, and I never tell you guys when I am buying because I need you to do that on your own, right? I give you the watch list. I do all the homework. I go through the scans. I give you the watch list, and then I even set a daily watch list, and then I'll even call out while I'm looking at it. But I never tell you exactly when I get in because I don't want you to take my trades. I want you to be self-sufficient. If I'm doing all the other homework for you, we need to train the traders to be traders, not followers, okay? You're never going to make millions if you're just listening to some big chin tell you when to buy and sell. I promise you, it never works out that way. You can ask any profitable trader. So what do we say? ASTS. We brought this up in the daily watch list. Let me just bring up the daily watch list for you. And you can see right here was on the first one. We said we're in a hot sector. That was communication. It's a fast mover. It moves 10.2% and trend with new higher lows. And it's my top watch if volume break on the hourly or daily trend. Now, look at this. New higher lows, 1, 2, 3, a trend following a 10-day moving average, an average daily range of 10.2, and this came in on volume. If we zoom in on the 5-minute time frame here, you can see bada bing, bada boom, right here is this area that we took it out. And we actually did a whole section on the volume on this because our buddy Paul Picasso decided to ask some amazing questions, which guys, I absolutely love these amazing questions. And what was beautiful was why and where we took this. And you can see right here where this volume came in on that 5-minute, this would have been the perfect time to take it. As this broke out higher, sure, but it was getting sold off. There wasn't a lot of volume, but you can see right here where this volume came in, much higher than previous days traded. You can see we decided to take it in this area as it continued higher. That is a beautiful, beautiful trade. As you can see here, if you would just measure this here, that is only 2.62% if you got it at the best price. Let's say you got it in somewhere here. Let's say it's 4.5%. That is only half of the average daily range traded, guys. Half of the average daily range traded. Beautiful, beautiful stock. If you're not in ASTS already, I would highly suggest waiting for another setup. This is why you get in here, because you can manage your risk. And this, I mean, this is exactly why we do this, guys. So I'm very, very happy that a lot of you in the Discord were able to take this on your own, made it very, very clear, very easy. We got to have a quick Friday session after this, and really dive a little deeper into that. Let's see here. INSG. Okay, so INSG. So I didn't really call this one out. Let me put this back on the daily. This is just one that kind of came up for me. And you can see right here, I'll just draw it out for you. INSG. I was watching this for a little while, but we just drew this trend out here. I actually took it on this day right here, and it never actually stopped me out using this low of day. And it took 3 days, but we are continuing higher. I liked how tight it was getting this day, and then when it actually broke out this day, I decided to take it. I only used half share size because I wanted to actually see this get a little tighter and wait a couple more days. Half share size never added back into it, but it is growing. INSG, $86 we're still up on. Only 200 shares we're holding. Okay, so not much. Like I said, it's chump change. We're gonna see if this thing really wants to take off. I also got an LRMR. Now this is a little bit of a different style trade. Now I've been watching a lot of simple base breakouts where it's just kind of the cup. This one did not have a handle, and you'll see on my watch list I have a few cups with handles or cups that are going to form a handle. I like this simple base breakout, and I decided to take this at 10.06. I'm only up $83 on this trade as well. I'm sure it all adds up, and you guys know that, but just know, like, it's just small. I'm taking small trades on these because this is not my picture perfect setup, as in this would be better, but we're not riding any moving averages. We didn't get tight. It's not a breakout on any significant amount of volume. So this I am in, and in full disclosure, this is not part of my process. That's why I'm taking much, much less share size on LRMR. But I do want to be completely transparent with everybody. That's why it wasn't in the daily watch list. That's why I wasn't preaching about it, because this goes on a separate back-tested data. I need to take 100 of these trades before I start preaching about these trades, okay? I've just started learning about these trades over the past 6 months. I'm just started to implement these in some of my trades, okay? Just a quick setup there for you. Let's see here. QS. So this was an episodic pivot that was brought up by our boy Danny. The news on this episodic pivot. Now, episodic pivots, you don't have to worry about the RS rating, just the news and the catalyst. Now, they had a nice partnership with Volkswagen, which is a big car manufacturer, obviously. And you can see when it gapped up here, it gapped up into this resistance and it stalled. Now, why did we take this? Well, if you look at the hourly, this hourly set up beautifully. We could even put this on the 5-minute to make this look even more picture perfect. Let's go ahead and draw this out for you. So this is what happened. After the gap up, it held most of its gain and just traded sideways here. So if we just take this marking and we just draw a line like this, you can see it created this beautiful trend line here. So what did I do? I decided to take this out the next day at that base breakout right here at 728. Now I'll just show you on my brokerage platform how this looks, and you can see it right here. Look how beautiful this looks here. And when it took off and it broke out above this area, we decided to get in at 731. That's my average price. We're up about $363 on this. I did take out half of my share size at 1R. So right when this hit 1R, I did take out half of my share size because I was risking full 1R on this. Totally forgot about that. And I did not want to take a full 1R risk on this because I didn't feel comfortable. I really didn't feel comfortable. I want to feel comfortable when I'm trading. So I exited half of my share size out, locked in my profits, locked in about 150, 200 bucks, something like that. And now this thing continued to push higher. My stop loss has now been brought up to my break even of 731, and we're up another $263 on this last piece. So QS was another beautiful trade that we took on Friday. I think on Friday we were up like a total of $600 or $700. A beautiful day for me personally, because those add up. You know, I say 500 a day keeps the job away, but I've been getting really greedy lately, up to the point where I want to make, you know, 1,000 a day overall, not every single day. It's not consistent like that, guys. Any profitable trader will tell you, some days you're going to make 1,000, some days you're going to lose a couple of hundred, but as long as your days that you lose money are smaller than the days that you're making money, you're doing something right. Your P&L tells it all. And then, of course, guys, I do trade the VOO and VTI because I preach the long-term investing is always the proper thing to do. So do you guys have any questions on my trades? AMSE, ASTS, INSG, LRMR, and QS. And of course, the long-term trades that I constantly dollar average into, as long as we're above a 200-day moving average, I constantly will buy a long-term portfolio to show everybody out there it's good to buy and dollar cost in the overall S&P 500 and also the to broaden your basis out, that VTI. Any questions on that, guys? I'll see what's going on in the chat. You guys are chitty chatting with each other. You mean you love snoring, Predator? Predator says I love shorting. Dan Bob says, you mean you love snoring? We got the old guys fighting in here. Listen, I don't want no problem or I'm going to take away the Metamucil. You guys are too funny, man. Jolene. I know I sing it every time too. I don't even know the song, but every time I see her, I sing Jolene. Let's see. Hi, Dan Bob. Lots of books already on sale. Oh, yeah. So, by the way, guys, Prime Day, Dan Bob wanted me to inform everybody, or he's already informing everybody, that Prime Day is on the 16th and the 17th. So if you look, Dan Bob has posted right here in our Discord. If you look at our resource page, you'll see he posted a grouping of books. This book right here, Mark Minervini's books. We have The Mental Game of Trading for the psychology, and we have How to Make Money in Stocks, How to Profit in a Bull and Bear Market by Stan Weinstein, so that way you can better understand the market's direction. And then, of course, you have your Market Wizards books. Absolutely good grouping of books here. So if you guys want to get those books, go to Amazon on the 16th and 17th, get some money off of those so that way you can buy in bulk and buy them a little cheaper, right? What else we got going on? I do want to promote the link tree. Once again, guys, this is my link tree. If you guys want to be a part of this trading view, the charting platform that I use, it's extremely powerful. If you guys click on this trading view, you'll see it'll take you to this tab. Well, actually, it takes you to my trading view, but it'll actually take you to my link, and you guys can use trading view for absolutely free. You can sign up for absolutely free. And then, of course, if you want to upgrade to the essential plan like I use, you're more than welcome to. I actually get a little kickback from that. You know, I got to promote myself. It's part of it. And one last thing before we move on, guys, just take a look at my screen. I want to show you a little something here. First of all, we have a poll here. Make sure you vote on this poll. It looks like 77% of you say yes, a new trend will continue in the small and mid caps. I sure hope that is true. 5% say no, it will fall back. But 18% of you say that my favorite workout is a chin-up. And I don't know why you would say that exactly, but I do like chin-ups. I can't do that many. Anyway, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's see what we're up to. Let's see if we reached a new goal today. We got 18 of you that hit that like button. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate you being here. All right, back to business, baby. What do we got next? While I talk about earnings seasons, Dan Bob Dan, if you will do me a huge favor. Dan Bob went through the earnings seasons, and I asked him to give me his top 5 earnings that we can take a look at for you guys. Now, these might not be the best, fastest moving runners, but these are probably the most popular and things that you're going to want to look out for, okay? So, Dan Bob, if you could give me that list and post that in the chat, and I'll give you guys a little understanding of what episodic pivots do, okay? So, a lot of times you'll find episodic pivots, a lot of times you'll find them, they'll come out, oh, you already got that up, wow. Okay, so an episodic pivot, you guys, is something that just takes Wall Street by surprise. You want to see it beaten down. You want to see a big gap up over 10%, roughly 10%. You don't have to be a stickler on that. But when that happens, okay? And SMCI is a good one. Right before earnings came out, they had a leak on their earnings, and you can see it was a big gap up here on earnings, and then this thing just rip-roared to the north side. We were watching this. This was absolutely beautiful. This is an episodic pivot that continued much, much higher and then had a big pullback and then continued higher again. So these things can be extremely powerful. We have a lot of examples on episodic pivots. This is just one of many, many episodic pivots that are out there. So keep in mind, during earnings season, if you get these big gap ups and you find good news and you see that that things are taking Wall Street by surprise with 100% growth or 100% EPS, these things can really change the direction of the stock, especially if it's been beaten down, and we really can manifest a high probability of earning lots and lots of money. But these ones here, do keep in mind, it's not about the RS rating, it's not about the ADR percentage, it's about where the stock sits and where it gaps up to. This thing's already had a run up, so you're not gonna think about an episodic pivot, but we have to understand that this is coming up. ASML, I believe, is a semiconductor, if I remember correct. Yes, it is. It's got earnings coming out here very, very soon. Let's see, earnings date on July 17th, so just in a couple of days here, so do keep that in mind. ASML as a semiconductor, if you like those earnings, that might be one that you want to keep an eye on. Now, Taiwan Semiconductor is another semiconductor, and you might see a theme here because these are up and they're looking good, and semiconductors are just eating things alive. Taiwan Semiconductor is also tied back in with NVIDIA, so if it moves up, NVIDIA moves up. If NVIDIA moves up, TSM will move up, okay? With a 98% RS rating, it's a slower mover, but keep this on your watch list as earnings might bring in a nice surprise there. We also have, let's see, ISRG. So ISRG, ooh, this thing looks really nice. Too bad this thing doesn't move a little faster. This might be a nice episodic pivot happening. I'm sorry, this might be a nice base breakout. Too bad it's too slow. But ISRG, let's take a look at what ISRG does. It's intuitive surgical. So this is a, health and technology services, guys, medical specialties. And we know that the medical area is very hot right now as healthcare is still running to the north side. So keep an eye on that, definitely. CTAS, C-T-A-S. CTAS is in consumer services, which is also another hot sector. You can see this thing's got a beautiful run up with the earnings coming up here very soon. It looks like on the 17th as well. Am I getting that right? Let me see here, guys. On the 18th, excuse me, on the 18th. And this looks like it's been running up for quite some time. The issue with these things being at all-time highs right before earnings comes out is good news can lead to bad news sometimes. So be very, very careful with that. AXPN and let's take a look at Enflix, guys. So Enflix is coming out now. This has been a very, very good runner for quite some time now. Ever since those June lows, those May lows, it's just been heading much, much higher. So June low of 21, it looks like. No, I'm sorry, of 22. Of 22, this thing has been rip-roaring to the north side, creating new higher lows constantly. Now it's very close to its all-time high of 700. Not only is 700 a psychological area, but because we were there before, it's going to be hard for it to get over this hump. Now, I will say this, if earnings gets us above that $700 area, that's going to be a very, very key area to watch. If we get up above 700, we might have a lot of people trying to rush in there, a lot of fear of missing buying out and heading up higher. So that's some of the top watch lists for your earnings. Now, what I want to remind you is a lot of the episodic pivots that are going to happen, we will call out in our Discord, the ones that we are watching. That's going to be a very key area to watch out for, something that we're really going to want to watch out for. You're not going to be able to guess. You're not going to be able to say, oh, well, maybe this stock or that stock or the other stock. No. Once we get a gap up and it's on earnings, then we look into how well the earnings were, where it sits at on a technical area, so it's not running into a bunch of bag holders or a bunch of people selling off into the stock. And some of those best stocks, they gap up, they get above all their old moving averages, they get above all the areas of resistance, and then boom, next thing you know, you're taking an opening range breakout and we're off to the races, okay? So we'll see if we get some of that coming in, okay? All right. Let's see here. Let's go over the economic calendar, guys. Do we have any questions about earnings or any earnings that are coming up soon that you guys want me to take a look at? I'll take a quick sip, and you let me know what you are thinking. Oh yeah. All right, let's do the economic calendar. Let's bring this up in front of you. Oh yeah, baby. All right. Let's make this look a little prettier. There we go. Let's see. VRT. Yeah, we can go over VRT. Actually, I think that's on my watch list. Let's see. Yeah, actually, it just got away from it. So VRT here is coming out, it looks like the 24th. The 24th, yeah. So on Wednesday, the 24th, VRT has earnings coming up. You guys can clearly see VRT not only has an RS rating of 98, but it's also a fast mover at 5.15. Saeed, thank you for bringing this up, because not only is this playable, but it also has earnings on the 24th, so this can be very interesting, it being in the electric technology. Now, the electric technology is its own kind of criteria, it's its own area, but we have seen many setups happening on the electric technology. So it's nice to see that VRT's earnings coming up. Now, if this thing does well, I think this can have some continuation, but always keep in mind, guys, I don't play before earnings, I only play after earnings. So if this thing can gap up on earnings and get above this area, wait for a base or a trend breakout, I think this can be very, very good for VRT. This thing has been rip-roaring for quite some time now. What a beautiful stock. Finally digesting some of this. It's like this is almost its first leg, you know, because it's just went from the bottom consolidation and just started heading up higher, quicker, pulled back, finally putting in a leg here and showing some contraction. This thing getting tighter here. Let's see what happens with earnings. But yeah, I like VRT. Very good call out there, Saeed. CORZ, does that have earnings coming up? Let's see. No, CORZ doesn't have earnings coming up. We will hold ZRT, or we'll hold that for the watch list. We'll go over that very soon. I do have that on my watch list. I don't have it as my top one. Your question, Shan Loka, I hope I'm saying that right. Why not before earnings is the question. The big reason why is because it's a gamble. I don't care what your IQ is. I don't care if you've dove into and you know what the stock should be worth, or you have some inclination that it should have some continuation. If you buy before earnings, it is a gamble, because even if they have better than expected earnings or they have good price guidance, what can happen is that the market did such a good job pricing in its future that those earnings might not be good enough. Those futuristic probabilities might not be good enough, and they will sell off into the good news anyway. So it's hard to tell what anything is going to do. And if you think that you're right, or you think that you're good at playing these earnings, I highly recommend you taking data on this and taking and paper trading this over and over and over again. Take 100 earnings trades before you actually do it, because everything that I have done and everything that I have heard and everything that I have learned, all the best traders out there that play trend and base breakouts will take out a significant portion of their money or their capital before earnings, because you never know what's going to happen. So that's the main reason why we do not play earnings. So that is BlackRock's earnings this week. Very cool. That should be a good one too. So I hope that answers your question. All right, guys, this is the economic calendar. Now, let's see here. This is July 15th? Yeah. So Fed Chair Powell speaks. So it looks like we're going to have a busy morning in the morning if he's taking a little peeky gander, if he's speeching around noon. So it looks like I will be here at noon streaming just for you, because if Fed Chair Powell speaks, we want to hear about it. Why? Because those Fed rate cuts are coming soon. When did we say they were coming? Well, plain and simple, September is what I've been saying for the past 3 or 4 months now. I said September is our most likely cut, and Fed Chair Powell on his last board meeting with Capitol Hill has brought the CME Fed Watch tool up to an all-time new high for September. I even went as far back as looking at December, and it looks very, very clear that we could be down 0.25 basis point cuts now. That's why this market is doing so damn well. So let's take a look at September, and you can see September now has an 88.1% chance, according to the CME Fed tool, that we will be coming down 0.25 basis point. So that is absolutely beautiful. Then of course, November, we can see that we are going to be around that same area. In November now, we actually have a very good chance of being down 0.25 basis points at 56.9%. And in December, you can see we are not only down we could be down 0.75 basis point. Am I reading that right? Holy shit, yeah. Look at that, guys. In December now, we are up to possibly getting 3 Fed rate cuts by the end of this year. That changed. That changed because of and that's with the hot PPI data that came out, guys. That PPI data came out a little hotter than expected, but Papa Powell said, within this range. It was still within that range, and sure enough, look at this. This could be beautiful. 3 Fed rate cuts by the end of the year. That's looking good. All right, so do keep that in mind, guys. Now, with this economic calendar, at noon, we will be streaming the Fed Chair Powell speech that is happening. I've already clicked on this once. Let's bring this up. Let's see. He is Federal Judge Powell on this date, controls short-term interest rates. He has more influence over. Okay, so we know he's talking. We know why we're watching him. That's that. Then we have core retail sales coming out on Tuesday. Retail sales month over month. Wednesday, we have crude oil inventories. That's not very, that doesn't move the market very much. It's the initial jobless claims that are going to be coming out Thursday that have the most volatility. Now, I will say this here. I'm not trying to cut my own throat, but we have been so data-driven recently that there has been a ton of volatility in the market. So unless there's a huge change in this data, meaning like initial jobless claims are expecting 229 and it comes out like 400,000, or if it comes out like way better than expected but if it comes out anywhere near the previous or the forecast and we stay within this range, not much is going to change. We might get volatility, but we're not so data driven anymore, because Powell said with the data that we have now, as long as we continue to stay on this trend, things are looking good. And he expects to ingest this further data if it stays within the range so he can start cutting rates sooner, okay? That's why we see that in the CME Fed tool, because Papa Powell is looking very, very dovish, okay? So that's all we got going on here. Even though initial jobless claims coming out, I don't think it's going to be crazy. Of course, we're going to cover it. We're going to cover Fed Chair Powell speaking tomorrow at noon. We're going to cover the initial jobless claims. We're going to cover, I'll probably skip out on, we'll do core retail sales, but we're going to skip out on crude oil inventories. That's not that big of a deal, okay? Any questions on that, guys? Any questions on that? Let's see. Shanna Loki brought up GS. What? GS earnings is tomorrow? Oh, the Goldman Sachs. Okay, yeah. I was thinking QS, and I'm like, shit, I'm in QS. I better get the hell out of that. That'd be bad. That would be so bad. That's why it's always good to know, guys, when the earnings are coming out. You don't want to get caught by surprise. You might wake up with a big gap down the next morning, especially if they're doing it that morning or that night. So always know when the stocks that you're in, when the earnings are coming out, okay? So if we don't have any questions on the economic calendar, we're going to go ahead and move on. We have the most anticipated thing on this show. And we can't say it loud because we're being watched. This isn't just a watch list. This is a stock market watch list.
FBI, open up!
Every time. They're here. Bruh, we got to get out of here.
Bruh.
Let's get the hell out of here. All right, now, once again, I hate to toot my own horn, but we have been calling out some absolute bangers lately. These absolute bangers, and there's going to be a few that I will show you that we have called out in the daily watch list. We called out last Sunday, and now you are here with me today to get this absolutely amazing stock market watch list. Are you guys flipping ready? I'm not. Let me take a sip. This one's for me. This one's not for you, so cheers. All right, let's do this, baby. Oh, yeah. All right, listen, while I'm going through this, guys, do keep in mind, if you have anything that you want to see, anything you want called out, anything at all, please put it in the chat. We'll go over it right when I'm done going through this watch list. Now, we're going to start this time with probably, let's see, 8, 9. We'll go with 10. We'll do 3, 6, 10. We'll do about 15 of them, okay? So I have an extensive watch list that I'm going to keep on through the week, but I want to give you guys my top list. And we're going to start with RDDT, okay? RDDT sits right here with a base breakout. I still think this needs some more time, but I think sometime by the end of this week, I would absolutely love to see this break out. I want to see some more tight action. I want to see it riding this 10-day moving average and using this $76 area to continue to get tighter and tighter and tighter. Now, this is considered a meme stock because you know who, Roaring Kitten. I hate saying his name. I'm a hater. Haters gonna hate, right? And I hate a hater hating because they never let it go. But Roaring Kitty, RDDT, it's a meme stock, and we have a couple other meme stocks in here, but if they're setting up, guys, I don't give a shit what's going on. If it's setting up, I will play it. I will play it because I'm a player. Shanlock, would you sell your... Okay, we'll go over that, and cheers back to you, Shanlock. Absolutely. Hello, Kitty. Yeah, Hello, Kitty. I love it, Jolene. All right, so RDDT, we know Hello Kitty is playing this one. Absolutely advantageous. Keep this RDT on your watch list. CAMT. Why is this on my watch list? Because I see it pulling back. I see it riding the 10-day. I see it getting tight here. We can put a trend line into this if you would like. I still think it needs some time to set up, maybe one more day to get tight. If we can have another inside day here and a breakout above 132-ish, I think this can have continuation to the north side. RS rating of 98 and an ADR percentage higher than 4. So you can see this thing had a base breakout as a cup and a handle here. As it continued higher, it bounced off the 21, forming what here, guys? Another trend break. Look at this. Why do I play trend breaks? Because they are all around the world. Right here. Boom, trend break. Boom, trend break. Let's make money. Let's make money, guys. If you don't know how to play the trend breaks, just go into the trading school, okay? After you're done watching this, go into the trading school, watch the trend breakout strategy. Watch it 2 times, watch it 3 times, send it to your mama. Learn this strategy. It makes money, guys. It makes money, okay? CAMT, now setting up again, not looking nearly as clean as the first 2 legs. This might be the third and last leg, so just keep that in mind. COGT, you can see here, what am I looking at? A base breakout. Not only a base breakout here, but this is a cup with handle. It's a simple base breakout, the new strategy that I'm working on, which is just basically a cup without a handle. And if this thing wants to get going, it's very close to our RS rating of 90 that we need here, but we need to see this thing get above this area. If we can see COGT get above this area, I would be very interested in seeing it get above right around that 950, that psychological area of 950. All right, so keep COGT on your watch list. If it can break out on volume, this might be a good place to keep an eye on it. And do keep in mind, guys, these are my trades. These are my ideas. They are not yours. Do not, I could be completely wrong. I might not know anything I'm talking about here. So just keep that in mind. Don't sue me. There's no reason to hate on me, okay? SMCI, guys, this was brought up. The one thing I do like to use is anchored VWAP. I pull it off the tops and the most recent EPSs or the lows here. I can even throw one on the low here. Boom. And you can see it lines up pretty much with the EPS, the earnings price And you can see we have a pinch here. Okay, I like SMCI, and if it gets going above this area of 225, I would love to see this thing have continuation. All right, you can see it's getting tighter. You can see we have a trend forming new higher lows here, and you can see a trend forming new lower highs here. Okay, just like that. Now it's getting tight. What happens after you contract, after expansion, then contraction? What happens after contraction? You have expansion. Which way? Nobody knows, but we will see very, very soon. So keep SMCI on your watch list. And some of you might ask, well, if you don't know, then why am I even watching? Well, I'll tell you what, I don't have a crystal ball. I mean, I technically do have a crystal ball somewhere around here, but the thing is, guys, is nobody truly knows what's going to happen in the market. And if somebody tells you that they do know, then they're the guru, okay? You go give them your hard-earned money and they're just going to sell India, okay? They don't know. Nobody truly knows. But what we do know is there's some things that we can control. Our risk management, okay? How much money we're willing to risk, when to get in and when to get out, okay? Which is all correlated to risk management. There's a few things that we can control here, okay? And we know that the stock has expansion, it has contraction, and when it contracts, it's going to expand again. You can see it here, expansion, contraction, it's getting tighter, and now we know it's going to have expansion again. So the best time to buy is when you have a tight area of risk, and you can see we have a tight area to risk now, so that way when there is expansion, if we are wrong, we take a small loss. But if we are right, we expand and we have a big win. That is the whole reason why we play this trend and base breakout, because that tightness, that contraction gives us a key area to buy in and an explosive move to the other side where we can make big money, okay? What else we got on here? Jolene says, love the trading school. Hell yeah. We definitely put a lot of money into that. Shan Lokes got rockets. Norman Conklin, what's going on, Norman? Good to see you. Yosef, what's going on? SMCI entered the NASDAQ index. Oh, did it? Good, because I know before this humongous breakout, it was a small and mid-cap stock. You know, now it's a market capitalization is 53 billion. That's beautiful. Yeah, it went from nothing to something in a very short amount of time. So it's really good to see SMCI sitting here. So love to see that. This is the daily chart. We will always be looking on a daily chart unless we're trying to really hone in and refine some of the volume takes. Then we'll look in the hourly, the 5-minute. Okay, so but yes, everything you see here will be on the daily. This is looking absolutely beautiful. I see you guys sending the love. I see the love. I'm gonna send some back. There you go. Have some love, baby. Shanloke, you say, I know nothing. Well, I tell you this, Shanloke, you're a loser unless you're learning. And here you are learning today. So I love all the questions. Keep them coming. Next up is KOSS. Now, before we go deep into KOS, I need you guys to understand, I know it's a meme stock, okay? These are rip your face off, make or break your account. So if you don't know risk management, if you don't have a very good understanding of risk management, go into our trading school, watch risk management video, take it on a practice trades, do it in low risk, because we don't want you guys playing KOSS. Don't play anything that I call out. Don't play anything call out. That saves my ass, right? But if you are to play KOSS, you need to understand it moves 25.89%. That's a quarter of whatever you put in. Whatever the amount that you put in, it's fractal, $100, $100,000. If you put it in there, it has the opportunity in one day to move a quarter of whatever that amount of money is. This is where you make millions. These are the trades where you can make lots and lots of money. This is where you can make or break your account if you don't know what the hell you're doing. Now, what I've seen is expansion. I'm seeing contraction here, and I'd love to see this trade here and ride this 10-day moving average for a couple more days. If this thing gets going right now, I see in the long term possibly doing something like this and creating more of a trend like this. So I think it needs a lot more time, but I do want to bring it KOSS because I think in the near future, let's say next week sometime, that this thing could take off. But this thing looks very, very powerful to me, okay? This is something that we could look at the hourly, and you could say, you know, and draw a trend line here, but I'd rather not, okay? If it does take off here, I do want to be informed, so I will put an alert on this, but this isn't something I'm going to take here, okay? Just something I'm looking at, and I want you guys to be aware that I'm looking at it, but this is more of what I'm seeing. I think it's going to do something more on the lines of this, up, back down, and get tight as this 10-day moving average right here kind of just comes up and gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then eventually we get something like this. All right, so just keep that in mind, guys. It's just a thought, okay? It's just a thought. We'll see if KOS wants to set up like that. You know, if it does, hey, more power to us. Next up on the watch list, and guys, if you have any tickers that you're not seeing on my watch list or you want me to go over them, let me know. But we are getting closer and closer to the best watch list in these stocks. The stock market watch list can be absolutely powerful. We've made lots of money joining up every Sunday to do the stock market watch list. And before I go on, because we only have 6 more left to look at, I want you to take a look at my screen, please. While everybody's here, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, guys, because why? Well, this is self-reliant. This is what's going to continue to help this community grow. We have amazing traders in this community. We've already reached well over 1,000 subscribers now. We have the link tree posted up in the chat. You guys are more than welcome to click on that. And we also have a vote. You can vote right here. Yes, the new trend will continue. 79% of you say the small and mid caps will trend higher. 4% say no, it will fall back down and head lower. But 17% of you say that my favorite workout is chin-ups. Chin-ups, guys. What the hell? Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. And we're going to continue with our watch list, of course. And then we will go over the chat and see if there's any questions that we can go over, okay? So let's continue on really, really quick. Nalani, hey Dave, can you make a video on index, like which is what? Example, QQQ equals tech, IWM small cap. Yeah, absolutely, we can do that. I actually have a whole list that I can send you, Nalani, that will show you in this beautiful trading view charting platform that has all of the ETFs in it. Right here is my list, right? Let's see. The ETF list. Yeah, I have an ETF, sector ETF right here. I'll actually send that. I'll put that in our Discord right now for you, actually. Right now, Natalia. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right, I'll do it in a second. See, I'm trying to get fancy. I will send that to you very, very soon. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'll definitely make a video on that. Shan Loke, actually, I do have that on my watch list. We can go over that very soon. All right, guys, next up is FIP, FTAI in infrastructure, or the ticker symbol FIP. You can see right here, FIP moves 5.43%. It also has an RS rating of 98. So we like looking at these. They're fast movers, and this is what I think is beautiful about it. It has this beautiful trend right here. As it holds its 10-day moving average, it pulls back, it's starting to contract, and it's showing a trend line. I would like to see at least one more day before it breaks out, but if it does want to break out, I want to be alerted on FIP, so make sure you're putting that on your watch list. ANF was brought up by your boy Swervo. If you guys don't know Swervo, he is a new addition. I think he just joined us last week or 2 weeks ago. But his ideas lined up very quickly with ours. I think him and I landed on Tesla right before it broke out. We were talking about that pullback and the undercut and rally. And that's right when I knew. I was like, he knows about the undercut and rallies. This is definitely going to work out. So it was nice seeing him in here. And he brought up ANF. Now, I've been watching ANF for a while. It's holding this 21-day moving average. You can see a beautiful trend line for me. I still think it needs 3 or 4 more days of contraction before this thing gets to ripping, but this looks really, really nice with an RS rating of 99, and its average daily range is above that 4%. So let's keep on keeping on. We're going to see if this thing wants to get going. You can see this is my simple trend base breakout, or simple base breakout that I've been focusing on, just these simple base breakouts, guys. They've been working everywhere. They've been working everywhere. Now, I wouldn't have been able to hold on to this because of the earnings that came out, but you can see it was a beautiful expansion on earnings. Now it's contracting, trading sideways. So now that it's getting tight, we're going to see expansion soon enough. So we'll have a nice risk reward to take that off of, and we'll see if this thing wants to get to ripping. We want to be here for it, okay? Next up, Covey brought this up last week when we were somewhere in this area. It was actually getting really, really tight and looking really good, running into its anchored VWAPs. But now that it pulled back, rode a 21-day moving average, you can see it did it again, pulled back, and just got soaked right back up on that moving average. If this thing wants to take off tomorrow, I would not be surprised. So I have my alert set around 370. If it wants to do it on volume, I will be there to see how much volume and if it's worth a bid. So we'll see if MDIA is going to take off there. Now, these next four are going to be on my top watch list. Okay, guys, so pay attention to this. This is very, very important. Top of the watch list. This is exactly why we do this, baby, because we could make some money. Yeah, let's go, baby.
Bruh.
Like, calm down. It's just trading, right? I love it. This is my passion, guys. This is exactly why I'm here, so I'm glad you guys are here. P-O-E-T. I think you guys have seen me wearing the poet shirts for a long time. That's actually my father-in-law. He's given me, I love free, and he gives me a ton of these shirts. They're super comfortable. I don't think that P-O-E-T actually has the same correlations to the shirt I wear all the time, but if this thing wants to get tight and rip, tater ship, oh man. Let me just take a break. Let me wet the whistle. P-O-E-T is getting very tight here. I do really like the look of this. I do like the expansion here on much higher volume, and now it's pulling back and it's getting tight again with an RS rating of 98 and an average daily range percentage of 13.66. I really think that this has an awesome opportunity to head much, much higher. So make sure POET is on your watch list. What we're looking for here, guys, is a break above this high of 323. And when it does, I'm not going to get excited until I see that volume. And if you guys want to understand a little bit more of what kind of volume I'm looking for, again, I'm going to refer to the trading school. I have a whole video on volume that we actually just did on Friday, so just a few days ago, on ASTS, the trade that I just showed you that we took. We went over it. We reviewed it as a team. This is what we do. That's why we are building an amazing community, because we all help each other out. We're all here for each other. And I tell you what, I absolutely love this damn community. Covey and I, my right-hand man, Covey, we were literally just talking about this. We were just talking about how amazing this community is. And we were saying, like, we've never really been in a part of a community that was this vast with knowledge and so many people wanting to help each other, and just what a tight-knit group that we are. So guys, if you want to join, you're more than welcome to. It's absolutely free. Dan will post it in the chat right now. That's my link tree. You're more than welcome to check it out. Hit that like and subscribe. Yada yada yada. You guys know the spiel, right? You guys know the spiel. Anyway, POET. Look at this, guys. Let's wait for that thing to rip tater chip on volume, keyword on volume, and then we're going to keep an eye at that 320 area. Next up is FTEL, Fiddle Corporation. Fiddle Corporation, guys. This is the retail trade specialty stores. Let me read about it a little bit. It's an online retailer of gym and fitness equipment. Its brands include Muscle Motion, Rapid Motion, and Fleet X. The company was founded in 2007 and is headquartered in Sydney, Australia. I don't think that that's the way to do it, but Dan, Dan, thank you so much. The Greatest Moderator Live has now posted my link tree in the comment section, so thank you. Next up, DAQ. Oh, actually, we should go over this really quick because I really think this is looking nice. So FTEL, look how tight this is getting, guys. I really like the look of this contraction. This is a beautiful setup because it also has new higher lows forming in right here. And what do I mean by new higher lows? Here's a low, right? And then here is a new higher low right here. And now if it can hold this new higher low, this will be another new higher low put in. And if it breaks out of this on volume, you know, you already know, it's winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby. We might be eating, baby. We might go out to dinner and have ourselves some lunch if this thing wants to get moving. So I would like to see this thing break out, even if it was right here or maybe one more day. Let's say it pulls back one more day right here, pulls back, gets even tighter on this 21-day moving average and has another inside day. I'm not going to complain. Maybe Tuesday we'll see this thing rain some cash on us, but we will see. It's okay. If it wants to take off tomorrow, I'll be there when it does. I'm going to set my alert for 3080. Let's see what, 3088. We'll see. We'll see if it gets some volume there, guys. You're always going to hear me say volume. Now, this is another meme stock, DAKT. DAKT. Look how tight this thing is getting. Is this, actually, no, I don't think this is a meme stock. Is it? Let's see. No, I don't think this is a meme stock. Producers Manufacturing. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. Look, guys, this thing actually has some fundamentals. Its annuals are heading much higher. Its quarterly, you know, it's got more revenue, but its net margin might be going down. Maybe they're buying some stuff up. But either way, it actually is making some money. They're actually selling a product, right? It engages in the design and manufacturing of electronic scoreboards, programmable display system, and large screen video displays for sporting, commercial, and transportation applications. It operates through the following segments: commercial, live events, high school, park and recreational, transportational, internet. These things are doing it. They're doing it big. They're doing it big. And look at this. Expansion on earnings. It heads higher, right? And then it heads higher again, pulls back, and look how tight this thing's getting. With an average daily range of over 5% and an RS rating at 97, this thing would be a beautiful breakout of this $14 area. So I'm going to set it at 14. This is where my alert's going to be. If this thing wants to break out at 14, I'm not going to argue with it. This thing would be beautiful because it's blue skies, baby, after 14. We have a little bit back here, but we're going to call it blue skies because this was all the way back in 2014, okay? So with an RS rating of 97 and an ADR percentage of 5 or higher, I really think after 14, if we see some volume to back this up, this thing can get to rip, tater chip into the north side. So we will see very, very soon if that's going to happen. And now, for the last and final stock watch list, and then we'll go over all of your questions. We have had a group of us in the Discord bring this up, and I kept telling you guys, quiet down, shut up, be quiet. I want to be the one to tell them. I love it. This is what I love about this community, guys. You guys are looking at the same things I am. You guys are learning. You know exactly what we want to see. We give you the scanners. Now we have a programmer on our team that's reducing the scanners to exactly what we want. So we go from 500 to 300 to only 150 stocks that we have to look at, and we really have to hone in on what we want. And every one of us have brought up RGS. Let's take a look at RGS, baby. Look at this. Now, this is what I would consider a picture-perfect setup. Why? Well, let's go over it, guys. Let's zoom out here. So we have some of this garbage back here, right? Back in 2023, okay? Now, since then, we had huge expansion here on a huge push up on volume, much higher than it's ever seen traded. Now, a lot of times when I see these, I just say, you know what? It's just gonna come right back down. But when it holds its gains and it pulls back, it creates new higher lows like you're seeing here. And I'll just mark these out for you. We'll go ahead and do this. Right here's the low. Right? Here's the big push up higher. It pulls back, creates a new higher low, and then creates another new higher low, and now is getting very, very tight on this 10-day moving average. This is 3 inside days. Well, technically 2 inside days after this one. I would love to see, to make it absolutely picturesque perfect, for this to have one more inside day before rip, tater chip into the north side. That's what I want to see. You don't always get what you want. Blind Joker, welcome to the Discord. I seen that you just joined. Welcome to the Discord. Everybody that's in our Discord, please welcome Blind Joker into it. You're part of the squad now, brother. So listen, RGS looks absolutely amazing. I really want to give this one more inside day, but I'm not going to argue with price action. My alert is going to be set now at $22. If it breaks out of the psychological area of $22 and gets to ripping, then I want to be there to see it when it does. okay? And if it can do it on volume, I will definitely take 1R on this trade, all right? So, do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want me to take a look at? Let's run through it. All right, Pradeep, we actually went over VST already. And let me start up from the top. I don't want to miss anybody, and we'll get back to VST. Yeah, daily chart. Okay, indexes. Yep. Oh, GME. You brought up GME. So let's take a look at GME. You guys can see GME, huge run up, pullback, huge run up, pullback. Now, this is what I'm looking at for GME. If it can get above this 2673, 20, let's just call it 27. I'm going to set my alert here. If it can get up above that on volume, I have a feeling that this thing, I not have a feeling, my inclination is that there is at 30 an area of resistance, okay? If you add VWAP to your scanners, you'll see on the daily, this was the biggest area traded. Not only is it a round number at 30, but it is the most volume traded. You can see right here, the most volume traded day, and it is the VWAP, so the volume weighted average price. So I think if this thing does want to break out higher above 27, I think it has the ability to run to 30 only if there is volume to back it up, okay? So always keep that in mind. These are my thoughts, they're not yours. It's not a trade idea, it's a trade watch list, okay? So do keep that in mind. This might actually have some movement behind it. So let's go ahead and keep running down this list. Jolene says he is so smart. I know you're not talking about me, Jolene. That's for sure. I'm actually, that's why I love being here, because I'm very proof. I'm the proof that you don't have to be smart in order to be a good trader, because I'm far from smart. I really am, guys. I know a few things, and trading is one of them. Okay. Let's see, VST. So Pradeep, we actually went over VST. The only issue with VST, because it looks good. VST does look good. It is starting to get tight. It is riding the 50-day moving average, but it has earnings coming out here very, very soon. Am I right? Is earnings coming out? Or did I already look at this one? Let me bring it up over here on my, oh no, it doesn't. Okay, so here's VST. VST Energy Group. You can see a big push up here. Its RS rating is 98, and its average daily range percentage is over 5%. It's riding the 50-day moving average, okay? A lot of times I don't take these trades riding the 50-day moving average, but I do like this one. And I'm actually gonna set my alert right here, because I do wanna be notified when this thing breaks above 94. I think this thing can really get to moving. I do like this riding. It's creating new higher lows. 1, 2, now 3 new higher lows. If it's getting tight, it's getting tight right here. If it can break out of this $94 area on volume, this might have continuation. So we'll see if it does. So that's a nice stock. Very nice. I like that call out. Very good call out. Pretty. MW for tomorrow, I think is what you're saying. Oh, you're saying MDIA, Covey, for tomorrow? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Because you even get the undercut and rally. It got soaked right back up on that 21. I like it. Let's see. Shan Loke says POTT. I love Sunday learning stocks. I'm more focused. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you are here, and I'm glad you're ready to learn. So OPTT, Ocean Power Technologies. I'm going to tell you right off the get, I love this structure. I love this structure. I really do. This structure looks really, really good. It's getting really, really tight. Now, this is a penny stock. We do have to be careful. And the first other thing that I see here is the RS rating is really low at 78. And we have earnings that are coming out right here on the 16th. So this, I'm going to be hands off of this because because this thing has earnings on Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday. We're gonna want to be hands off on this thing, okay? You don't know what the hell's gonna happen with this stock because its average daily range percent is 22.59. Now I will say this thing's been beaten down so badly that let's say on earnings this thing gaps up. This could be an episodic pivot. It really could. It could be an episodic pivot. Muley, no, we haven't covered CORZ, but we will. Let me get down to that. So I like OPTT. I love this structure. I love the gap up. It's gapped up over all of its declining moving averages and now is riding the 10-day moving average. But because of earnings coming out, we have to stay hands off this thing until after earnings. After earnings, let's say it gaps up another 10%. that might be something to look at. That might be something that we'd want to take. So if that happens, we will be there. I will see it. Actually, I'll just set my alert right here, just because, you know, I actually might want to be a part of this. Okay. So you know what? Great call out on that. Great call out. I don't like the RS rating. Don't get me wrong, but if it does gap up on earnings, I do want to know about it. I definitely want to know about it. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Dan Bob says, yeah, follow us on the link tree. We got everything on there, guys. Even the Facebook, the new Facebook group is on the link tree. So if you guys aren't aware, we do, you are a part of Facebook. Dan Dan does an awesome job moderating that Facebook, guys. An awesome job moderating that Facebook. He does, and he talks a lot about a lot of different things on there that I don't talk about on here. So I think it's really important that you join that Facebook group on Linktree. Actually, just while we have a quick second, I'll just show it to you guys really quick. So if we go to this Linktree and you click on it and then you go down to our Facebook group, you'll see it brings you right here to it, guys. This is, Dan, I hate this picture. We got to change this picture, dude. This is stupid. We've only had this open for a couple of weeks, guys. This is a private group. You got to be invited to this. It's a private group, 61 members. I'm sorry, it's a private group, but you have to be accepted into it. Okay, anybody can try and join. You have to be accepted. He's very, very good at keeping the scammers out, but he brings up some really cool posts. He puts the sector tractor in here, so that way you guys can be on here. He posts some ugly guys on here. Look at this. We're getting quite the cast of characters in our group. Trader Rex, Mr. Rip Rip Tater Chip, and Whisker Buffett. I mean, he's got a lot of cool stuff, guys. A lot of cool stuff. Here's your books. So I highly recommend this because you don't have to worry about scammers in this. He's already on top of it. He does an amazing job, and we really, really appreciate Dan for everything that he does. So join that Facebook group, guys, inside of this beautiful link tree that Dan Bob has posted in the chat. So thank you very, very much, Dan. We appreciate you. Okay, so back to what we were talking about, guys. Let's see. We want to make sure we get everybody in here. Look at that spread on RGS. Yeah, we're in the aftermarkets, guys, so the spread is going to be crazy in the aftermarket. You can't look at the spread in the aftermarket. The spread is going to be shit in the aftermarket. Let's just see what the spread is. RGS. Yeah, so right now the spread is $1.45. Okay, but I can promise you the spread is going to get much, much tighter once and that's the thing too. You want to see a tight spread, and you want to do it during market open. That's why we don't play pre-market or aftermarket, because you're not going to have such a liquid stock. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, we're going to have to run through these pretty quick, guys, because we're at 10:14. My time is up here, so let's go look at PLTR. PLTR, yeah, this is the cup and handle. This is the cup. We're looking at the handle. If this thing breaks out of this area, I want a part of it. I really do. It moves 4.46%. I'm going to add my alert, and thank you for bringing up PLTR because I almost forgot about that. So Hanson Smotty, thank you very much for that. We showed the trade was here with an RS rating of 94 and an average daily range of 4.46%. I love that PLTR. I absolutely love seeing the cup with the handle now, riding a 10-day moving average. I asked for a pullback. I got the pullback, baby. Now I want to be a part of this if this thing starts to rip in. These are my thoughts, not yours. B. Stewie, yes. BZFD was on my watch list. It didn't make the cut tonight, but the only reason why I don't like it is because there's a lot of bag holders up here at 350. There really is. So you can just see the bag holders right here. I'll just bring it up on this. If you look at this, you can see there's bag holders right here where I have it marked. Okay, see the volume weighted average? Because look at this volume down here. Lots of volume. Here's the anchored VWAP area at the psychological area of 350. I really, truly think if this thing does gap up, it's going to gap right up into 350. So it just doesn't make the cut for me. I don't care for it nearly as much, okay? But yeah, good call. Did we cover CORZ? We are going to cover it right now, girly. What up, Muley? Awesome art. You are just on top of stuff. You still holding ASTS? I hope you play it right. I'm kind of jelly she got a better price than us. CORZ, guys, right here at 1050. That's going to be where my alert is. Now, we know we've already gone over this quite a few times. CORZ, they don't like to be called Bitcoin data miners anymore. Now they are data processing services. and they have a whole lot of smoke being blown up everybody's butt about now that these things can be used for more than just Bitcoin mining. They can be used for all types of processing, and whether that's true or not, I don't know. But what I do know is true is price action. And if this price action does want to rip tater chip past that 1050 on volume, I'm willing to take this again. I have been stopped out of this more than one time, and that's a-okay, because I am willing to take this trade if it does show true price action. I'll take the small losses and I'll take the big wins. We're going to keep an eye on CORZ. I have my alert set at 1050. We'll see if it happens, Muley. We'll see if it happens. Muley says she's got PLTR too. Good. I'm glad that you still have PLTR. That's awesome. Let's go ahead. We only got a few more minutes, guys. End of July, 7:25, I think. MLGO. So I was looking at MLGO, but this thing just broke down. So MLGL just broke down. It's below its 50-day moving average. It's RS rating 7. It's a shit stock. I can't look at this thing. Absolute garbage. Let's go ahead and look at Yosef. What is DXYZ? I think I've seen this before. DXYZ. Let's take a look. All right, 10.28. The RS rating's a little low. I see what you're looking at here. It's got this big giant push, a huge pullback, and I see this setting up here. And you know, I hate to say it, just I'm gonna set my alert. I'm gonna set my alert on this. I'm not saying that this is the best thing, okay, but it's kind of hard not to deny this trend here. I love the structure. I really love the structure, but this is kind of playing with fire here. Lower RS rating than I want, but it is setting up. It is setting up. It'd have to really prove itself with some volume, though. Next up, Dan, you are amazing. Jolene says, Dan, you are amazing. Dan says, thank you, Jolene. I'll just read the chat out loud. Let's see. What the hell? All right, yeah. Kobe says, Dan smells like a goat. Well, take a shower, Dan. Dan is the GOAT. You are the GOAT, brother. Let's see what else we got. Kobe, one of the masters. Yes, sir. He is our breakout trend specialist. He's the right-hand man. He is amazing. I don't even like calling him the right-hand man. He is the man. He is the man, baby. I'm done calling him the right-hand man. The man himself, Kobe, baby. MU, ready to fly, question mark? All right, and then this is going to be the last one, guys. This will be the last one, and then we are going to close out here. MU is looking really tight. I do really like that on earnings it held. It's getting tight on the 50-day moving average. Now, this is a slower mover at 3.86%, but it does have an RS rating of 96, so it's looking very good, and it is forming a trend here. Now, because this is a slower mover, I much rather take SMCI, which is looking more like a leader, or NVDA, which is more of the leader. So SMCI is setting up a little bit better with the contraction getting tighter here. But if you are into MU, I'm not going to say it's a bad stock. It might go up, it might go down here, but it's definitely due for some expansion to one side or the other. You can see right here, if I draw this out for you, because this is expanded and it has contracted and it's getting tighter now, we know it's going to go one way or the other. It's either going to go this way down and fast, or it's going to go this way up and fast, which tells us that we have a great opportunity to take a risk to reward here, meaning we can risk this $130 to try and get 157, or if you want to play the opposite way, you can risk 134.38 to try and get, you know, let's say this area of support 109. So right here, we're in an area of contraction. Soon there'll be expansion, but because that's a slow mover, I will be hands off of this. Now, one last time, guys, I'm going to end this poll. We got 28 votes tonight. Let's go ahead and end that poll. Hopefully it doesn't disappear on me like it did last time. And here we are. So I asked you guys for the IWM. I asked you, does the IWM, the small and mid cap stocks, is it on a new trend? Because if we look at this, guys, you've seen this huge breakout here. Look at this. Huge breakout, big downtrend, all this long time, years of consolidation here, and we finally broke out higher. 71% of you said that we would continue higher. 10% of you said no, it would fall back. So 71% think that this is going to continue higher. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I also think that. I do think that we are going to see a little bit of a pullback. I think it would be healthy after these two gap ups, but the market doesn't give a shit what I think. The market has no care in the world. What I do know is I am risk on. So if I see a setup, I'm going to take it. Due to my parameters, my process, I have to take my setups, because if I don't, it's going to hurt me more to watch the setups that I'm not in continue higher rather than just take them and take a 1 hour risk loss, because I know if I do it over time, I make money. So we are risk on. Even if we do get that pullback, that's going to be absolutely much better for my setups. So we're going to see what happens. So 71% of you are positive in thinking that we will have continuation. Whether that happens tomorrow or by the end of the week, we will see some continuation. 71% say yes. 10% say no, we will fall back and head lower. I'd love to know your thoughts. Make sure you join our Discord and give me your thoughts on that, because I don't want to be too biased to one side. I still like to know what's happening. Of course, I am always going to stay positive, but I like to be that bear with bull horns. That way I can go both ways if needed. And of course, 17% of you say my new favorite, or my favorite workout is chin-ups. I don't know why, but it is. It's chin-ups. All right. And let's see. Dan is awesome. Amazing team. Yeah, absolutely. We love this team here, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will end with this. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the Discord. Much love out to everybody. And of course, I will see you guys on the way out. We'll say our goodbyes. All right? Peace, guys. All right. Thank you guys. What an awesome show. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Kobe. Thank you for being here. Dan, Bob, Dan, the greatest moderator alive. Of course, you know I appreciate you being here. Jolene. You know I love you. Thank you so much for being here. B. Stewie. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Jimmy Bright. Thanks, guys. You all are awesome. Jimmy, we love your dedication to this channel. Thank you so much. Yosef, thank you so much, brother. You guys are awesome. Norman Conklin, here again, baby. Love seeing your dedication. Saeed, thank you so much, brother. Thank you guys so much for being here. Who else we got? Shani Loke. I hope I'm saying that right. 369, that girl fine. Shani Loke. Let's go. Good to see you in here. Muley, I already know that you're still here. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for your dedication. Predator, my man. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Hassan Samadi, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. If you guys, Pradeep, if you're still here, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see, anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody. I think that's everybody. Oh, Bob, Nalani, thank you so much for being here. Bob, thank you so much for being here. Not to be confused with Dan, Bob, Dan. But thank you so much for being here, Bob. I appreciate you. Yeah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much for making this great. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you guys in the Discord very, very soon. Have a great night, guys.